So that was really weird, by the way. I think I feel a little better about this now, and it's been like 5 minutes since my last video, and I'm just trying to get to some perspective here because it's the perspective that I'm looking for from all of you. That's why I'm doing these videos. I'm not doing these videos for you. I'm doing these videos for me because I know that there are people out there like me that are suffering or going through or dealing with, and possibly even people who are suicidal about things that they're dealing with. But what I'm talking about is family court reform, save the children, Me Too, all of it. I'm not talking about any particular thing. I'm talking about why did I speak up for my little girl who disclosed to a play therapist that she'd been seeing for a year and a half? And then they said, oh, well, the person she disclosed to wasn't a forensic interviewer, so that disclosure doesn't count. We're going to put her in front of a detective from the police department of our local precinct, and he is going to, basically, I was going to do I was doing anything. I'll do anything I was told. I've done everything I've been told up to, well, not everything, don't get me wrong, but to a point, everything up into a point. And then I noticed that something's not right here. And something needs to be done about it. And I've been quiet for, I can't say I've been quiet, but I've been quiet in this forum for a long time, forever. I've never said a word about this. I've talked about things on my Facebook. I've put up change.orgs. I've put up GoFundMes. I've went through like every single human emotion you could possibly go through that pertains to what I'm talking about, and that is, if you see something, say something. But I saw something and I said something and I lost custody. I lost custody because supposedly I'm a cold-blooded, vindictive bitch, and I just couldn't get over the fact that my husband had been seeing someone else and got her pregnant and lied to me. And again, I'm not a victim, but through each thing that I chose to continue to allow, I further entangled myself into a web that I really didn't spin. And I woke up this morning to check my Facebook, and I just for some reason searched my daughter's name, and it came up with something from August 27th, 2012 that I will share with you in the next video. But in the meantime, I just want y'all to know that they're taking our kids. They're threatening us with libel and slander and gag balls and gag orders, excuse me. And it's not okay. And I'm going to be painting a picture with the next videos. And the people that are paying attention, the people that are invested, can think for yourself and make decisions for yourself as to whether or not you're outraged. It's a tort of outrage for a reason. It's emotional distress. It's intentionally inflicted. It's not just me. Whether you're doing this to somebody or this is being done to you, I want to hear about it. I want to hear about it because this is me, day one, making something happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but it has to be something. Because I will not get caught being complicit, and I will not be caught being complacent, and I do care. And I'm not just sitting on my ass not seeing my kid. And I know that I am besides myself, and I'm not okay, but I'm okay because I have to be okay, right, Mom? Right, moms? oxygen mask on us first, and all that. But am I okay every day, waking up, going to bed, celebrating 5 years worth of holidays, not able to give her a gift, being called Darcy by my own daughter, being told that stroganoff and peas is not an age-appropriate food, which I add is the least of my complaints against Pathways to Parenting and the owner, D. Cummings. I believe that things are perpetual, cyclical, generational, and we need to be looking into it. Dead in the eye. Do you understand? I mean, I could ramble for hours. What am I supposed to say? I'm trying not to implicate anyone, get myself in trouble, but I just want to be on here telling the truth, and if you're listening, you're listening, and if you're not, I guess I'll know, because I'm asking for your feedback on the things that I'm going to share. And I'm also making these videos so that I can apply them to the things that I've already shared on Facebook. And I realize, as I've said on Facebook in a post, that my story may be completely different than the story of my own child, who I'm fighting for to have a normal relationship, some form of normal. Some form. This isn't it. This is racketeering. This is extortion. Going into Title IV funding through Social Security and all the other things that are whispers and people are talking about, and I don't want to sit here and explain that. I'm aware of all of that. All of that, to a point, makes sense to me, and most of it's just over my head because it's more than I can handle. I can only be on one mountain right now at a time, and if I'm going to die on one, it's going to be for my daughters. My husband understands that, and I have a good one, and you know, he's my whole world, and my daughters are my whole world, even the one that I don't have, especially the one that I don't have, but especially the one that I do. She's going on her 18th she's on her 18th year, and she's graduating from school this year in this crazy, don't even want to say the word because I'm so tired of it, crazy times, as a friend of mine just said. And it's not the first crazy time that people have been through. There's been many crazy times, but we're not in those times. We're in these times, and we're here now, and we can fix it if we bother to try. And if it doesn't get fixed, then when we sleep well knowing we tried. And I was just told recently to rest in God, rest in Creator, let Him go to work. And as a spiritual person, I'm not saying that I don't see His work abounding everywhere. In fact, I'll make another video just showing you beautiful things. But it's not all beautiful. And we're His body, we're His church, we're His voice, we're His people, we're His disciples. You know, we're going to let the dead follow the dead, and we're going to let the dead bury the dead and follow Him, because for Him, we'll only have for a little while, and for that, we'll always have. There's always going to be that, but there's not always going to be this opportunity to do the right thing. You know, my 99 sheep are okay here on my mountain. It's time for me to go get the one. And I'm fishing for men out here, like you, women and men, that have a heart that's not hard. I don't want to hear bashing per se. I don't need to hear about pedophiles and pig farmers. I just need some solid advice. I need all of you to be outraged. If my story outrages you, then that is exactly what I'm looking for. Is how is this happening? How can this be? How is this even a thing and it's not just me? What are we going to do? If you're still watching, what are we going to do? It's time to do something about this. It's past time. It's always been here. It's always going to be here. But you know what? That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. I'm not interested in old men identifying as little girls and wanting to hang out with little girls and sniffing little girls, and not interested in discussing my political views here, but I hope to God there's somebody doing something about this. You know, I need to try and figure out how to live in joy while going through all of this. Continue to be a whole mom for my daughter, continue to be a whole wife for my husband, and continue to be a whole person for myself. And I have to say it's a lot. It's a lot some days because I've already been through a lot, so this is just one more thing for me. I'm not here for pity. I'm not here for somebody to tell me to be strong, because I am strong, because I'm here. I don't need you to feel sorry for me, because that's not going to do me any good. That's not even going to do anyone any good. What we need to do is fight to take back our country, reform our government, look ourselves over pretty deep and decide what needs to stay and what needs to go. Yeah, I'm kind of pissed at the women out there that they're accusing me of being. I mean, it's like crying wolf, right? So then when the real wolf comes, nobody's listening. I was just talking to somebody the other day, and she goes, I just hate to see you beat your head up against a brick wall that's not going to fall. And then she heard my daughter's voice. And she, the next morning, said to me, now that I've heard her voice, I can't give you the same advice I gave yesterday. You should never be quiet about this. And I'm not going to be quiet about this. I know that there are victims out there that are suffering in silence, and I know that there are victims out there that have spoken up and nobody did anything for them. And basically just given up, and they feel like nobody's coming for them, and that's not okay. That's not okay. So, I hope you join me, I hope you follow, I hope you subscribe to my channel. And let's see what we can do about this, because whatever this is, we need to name it. And then it needs to stop. And I pray for crop failure in those strongholds that I'm speaking of. And I do know that God's got my little girl in His hands every day. And I know that I've been through adversity. I've been through many, many things. And not all of them need to be discussed here, but they have sharpened me and made me and built my character, and I've chosen to continue to have integrity, or learn to have integrity where maybe I didn't, because I'm not perfect, and I'm not saying I am, but I will tell you one thing. I am a mom, and I do not deserve to be treated like this. I have to stay level-headed for my child. I've cried for 5 years. It's time to speak up. Thanks for watching.